On the phone now is Jimmy Farris. Hey, Jimmy, how are you?
I'm doing great, Donna. How are you?
Good, very, very good. So we are recording this the day after the Super Bowl, right? What were your thoughts on that big game last night?
Oh, I thought it was great. I love a competitive game in the Super Bowl. We had so many years when I was a kid and growing up where the Super Bowl was just a blowout. And so it was really nice to see a good game yesterday. I was a little disappointed the Bengals didn't win. I was kind of rooting for the underdog. I wanted to see Joe Burrow get that Super Bowl early in his career, but really happy for the Rams. Matthew Stafford finally got that Super Bowl, and it was a great game, and happy for the Rams.
Now, you host your own shows all about football, correct?
I do, yeah. I've been in and out of broadcasting in my years since retiring from the NFL. Still gives me a way to stay connected to the game, and I just love doing it. I love football. It's a huge part of my life, and so any way I can still be a part of the game, I definitely try to take advantage of that.
As a wide receiver, what advice would you give to, I guess, high schoolers out there? What is a tip, that maybe they could run away with today?
Yeah, probably not one of the things that kids want to hear, but focus on the fundamentals. You see so many videos and things out now where kids are working with all these exotic trainers and doing all this exotic stuff, and it's really important that they still focus on building a foundation of solid fundamentals. That's ultimately what got me through college and then into the pros, is that I was just really good at the simple basic stuff. And I think that's something that gets overlooked with some of the youth today.
Now, how did you get selected? Was it part of a combine? Did an NFL coach come to you? Like, how did that moment happen where you went from an amateur football player to a pro player?
Yeah, so after the season every year, there is what's called the NFL Combine, where players eligible for the draft to go to work out and try to showcase their skills for NFL scouts. I was not invited to that combine. It's an invite-only type thing. And so I entered the NFL draft, worked out for a select number of scouts, was not drafted in the draft, and then signed a free agent contract with the 49ers about 5 minutes after the draft. So I went the undrafted free agent route and was still able to build a nice little career off of that.
Isn't that exciting? I mean, were you excited when somebody said, okay? I mean, your persistence is really what paid off if you think about it.
Yeah, 100%. It was a dream come true for me. Part of my story is that I wrote a goal when I was 10 years old to play in the NFL one day. That was my goal in life, to play pro football. And so when I signed that contract with the 49ers, it was really the achievement of a lifelong goal for me. And it was just persistence, right? A lot of ups and downs, a lot of failure along the way, but I just kept getting back up and kept swinging for the fences, and ultimately got my opportunity, and it paid off.
Your book, why'd you write it? What are you doing with it now?
Yeah, so the book was something that I'd wanted to do for a number of years. After I retired from football, I got into the kind of the personal development space, speaking, coaching, training. So I wanted to put something out there that highlighted everything that I thought was important. You asked me that question earlier about things that young kids could do. I wanted to put something out that was for everybody, for senior level executives running companies, all the way down to high school kids that were trying to achieve a dream like myself. And so the book is called Be a Pro, Your Blueprint to Professional Level Achievement. And that's really what it is. It's just a blueprint that anyone can follow to go from where they are to where they want to go, get better in any area of their life or business. And right now we're just in the process of trying to get it into as many hands as possible, something I'm really proud of. And I hope people read it and get some inspiration and get some really tactical, applicable things that they can apply in their life or business immediately. And like I said, ultimately go from where they are to where they want to be.
In essence, you're just coaching, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So what I did, Donna, was, I took all of the lessons and everything that I learned on my journey from being a kid that set a goal to play in the NFL to ultimately achieving that and winning a Super Bowl with the Patriots. All of those lessons and principles and habits and everything I learned about high performance and how to achieve a big goal or big dream, and put it into a book that I put out. Like I said, for anybody that wants to achieve a goal or a dream, they can read it and find some of those principles. And then that's what I do in my coaching and speaking and training, is help people apply those principles to whatever area of their life or business they're trying to take to the next level.
And since you've had so many wonderful experiences, is there like a favorite food, like when you're playing for those different football teams, that you still like making for yourself now when you're living somewhere different?
Well, look, so I still live in Atlanta. And one of the reasons why I live in Atlanta is because when I got there, I fell in love with the food, the whole Southern culture. So I'm still really big on things like macaroni and cheese, greens, all different types of smothered chicken and things like that are really Southern cuisines. I grew up in the Northwest in Idaho. And so, I never really had real mac and cheese until I moved to the South, and that's still a favorite of mine.
Good for you. Idaho, though, they've got some really delicious potatoes.
We do, yeah. Mashed potatoes and gravy is still one of my favorites. I still try to include that in any big, festive dinner that we're having. That's a staple, obviously, for us at Thanksgiving. But since I moved to the South, I've kind of forced my family to add macaroni and cheese to our Thanksgiving display, and that's not something that's typical in the Northwest. Most people don't eat mac and cheese on Christmas or Thanksgiving, and so I kind of brought that to the Northwest.
Kind of fun. And what do you bring to the gridiron today? Do you ever just go out and have a catch at the local high school or anything? And do people stop and look at you or?
I do that quite a bit. Yeah, I've got 5 nephews that are all at various stages of their football career. One of them graduated college. He played college football. I've got 3 that are currently playing college football and 1 that's a senior in high school playing his senior year of high school football. And so I shied away from coaching in any official capacity when I retired, right. But I've spent the last 6, 7, 8 years coaching all of my nephews. And so I get out on the field with them quite frequently and just try to teach them whatever they may be struggling with or help them with mindset or actual physical skills out on the football field. And I really enjoyed that. I don't really want to coach on any level, but when it comes to my nephews, I'm definitely all in on helping them get to where they want to be.
Well, actually, Jimmy Farris, one moment, my director, Tony Liuzzi, is asking me, he wants to ask you a question and he's talking in my ear. Go ahead, Tony. What's your question? One moment. Good question. Fourth quarter, first down, would you have gone for it if you were the first quarter? Would you have gone for it if you were the Bengals?
Yeah, look, I think I liked that call, right? Because they were the underdog. They had to come out and try to establish right away, we're in it to win it. We're not playing safe. We're not playing not to lose. And I think that's one of those 50-50 calls. If they convert that fourth down, then everybody says, wow, Zach Taylor, what a great call, way to take a risk. Given the fact that they didn't convert it, some people are going to second guess it. But I love the call. I think when you're the underdog, when you got to come out and try to land a big punch early in a fight, in a game, in that instance, I think it was a good call. I definitely agree with that.
And I agree with the halftime show. I thought it was spectacular this year.
Listen, for people my age, I'm 43, and so that was a total throwback to like my college days, late 90s, early 2000s. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great.
So I'm going to throw you the ball. I hope you can catch it. Ready? Here we go. Going out for the pass. Oh,
got it.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jimmy Farris. It was a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me, Donna. I really appreciate you.
Okay, be well. Bye-bye.